Welcome back to my journey to create a Minecraft world to pass on to my family. This world is created with them in mind. Last episode, I spawned into a beautiful seed, picked out a spawn point, and laid out a foundation for our first build, Casa Bonita. This one is so close to my heart. I used to take my kids here, and now I get to take my grandchildren. Watching their amazement and wonder brought me right back to my own childhood, running around with my cousins, watching the cliff divers, going through Blackbard's cave a million times, and exploring all the hidden corners of all the dining rooms. Seeing my children and grandkids light up the same way filled me with pure joy. That's why I wanted to bring Casa Bonita into this world so those memories can live on here too. In this episode, we're going to start putting up walls and bringing this build to life. I'll be focusing on things that make Casa Bonita recognizable. It's going to be challenging, of course. There's so many details and different colors, but I think with the right blocks, we can capture the same feeling of wonder. As I build, I'll share some of my favorite memories connected to Casa Bonita, from birthday parties and the excitement of showing my grandkids for the very first time. My hope is that when my family one day explores this world, they'll not only see the structures, but also feel the stories behind it. So let's get started. Let's begin shaping Casa Bonita together. I've put the reference picture up for us to look at as we go through this. You can see the entrance kind of sticks out a little bit. So I wanted to get that down. I used pink concrete, of course, and then just started filling in some of the missing pieces. Now, it's not going to be exact. I did at first want the walls to be inset by one block just a little bit, but then later kind of figured out that that was probably not going to work for me if we want to add any windows. So you'll see here I start going to start filling those in and widening up the two outer rooms here. Widened up the entranceway so we can fit a little more in that area also. I had so much fun building this. Such a great time thinking about taking my grandchildren and watching them play all the games and go through Black Bart's cave over and over again, just like I used to do. Trying to get all those little details. Very hard. Wasn't quite sure about the tower. Now I did take down the second layer box, mainly because it doesn't look like there is one, and we wanted that tower to come all the way down and get as many details as we can on that. Unfortunately, some of my footage was corrupt and I was unable to save it. So we're going to make a little bit of a jump here. The top of the building was a little bit tough. It's tough to do circles in Minecraft. And there is, on the top there is a copper dome with a statue on top of it. So that's what I'm attempting to try here. Switched out a lot of the smooth quartz with just regular quartz, just to give it a little more detail. Smooth quartz tends to blend right in with each other. In some areas that's nice, and in some areas that's not. Here's where I'm filling in all the sides and putting in the little windows on the side. Those are kind of curved, so I figured we'd put some stairs in there to give it a little bit of a curved definition. Putting in lights into the tower because the tower is lit up at night. I also decided to extend the rooms on either side. Put a little trim on the outside and then alternated fence posts and fence gates. I thought that looked as close as we could get it to the little ornaments on the top of the building. Used fence gates on the side. Give that ledge a little more depth and to match the picture a little better. I thought about putting windows on the back of the building also, but decided against it. I believe we're going to do something else with the back of that building. I ended up putting windows on either side and in the front instead. Trying to figure out how we can put the clock on the front. What can we do there to make it look like a clock? Putting glow lichen up against the wall makes it look like there's some ornate carvings into the building. This time I started in the front to try and match that picture. The door is wood, so I wanted to match that up. I used spruce for the door. Used chiseled quartz in the tower and up at the top, just to give it a little more detail. Started a little bit of work on the inside. The inside of Casa Bonita, a lot of areas have white wall and wood floors. Some areas even have wood on the wall and white floors. So I wanted to try to capture that in some way here. Ended up with using dark oak. Ended up using dark oak for the floors and making a little step up on either side so that you can kind of see through those windows when you go in there. The door for Casa Bonita is wood and it's curved, so I wanted to try to give that feel here. I came back to the tower, the top of the tower, because there is a copper dome at the top of the tower with a statue up there, and I wanted to try and make that look as much of like a dome as I possibly could, with the statue on top. As you could see, I had quite a hard time with this. of the fence posts to end rods, just to give it a little more depth and match the picture up a bit better. Also lights up the tower quite nicely. Next, I filled in some of the landscape and started work on the fountain that goes outside. This I had quite a hard time with, as you'll see, trying to get it centered and also trying to make it look like the picture. In the picture, you can see that the fountain is not completely circle and it's not completely square either. So just kind of an odd shape that I had to work with. And also it has three tiers to it on the fountain portion. Trying to get the three tiers of the fountain was quite difficult. I ended up getting just two tiers there and getting the water to kind of flow down the way I wanted it to. Added lights to the bottom of the fountain and filled in some of the terrain. looking at the picture just a little more, I did end up putting both of the front doors in. One door is to go in and one door is to go out. I also redid the inside just a little bit. Changed it up to make white walls. And then added just a front area. I had so much fun building Casa Bonita. In our next episode, we'll focus on more details to this build and make it look even better. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.